I'm kind of curious about your organization, Tenggara
Strategics.
What's it about?
Well, there's a combination of 3 institutions which founded us. One is CSIS, another one is the Jakarta Post, which actually I'm coming from the Jakarta Post, and then Prasetiya Mulya University. You know, Jakarta Post is media, CSIS is more into research, think tank, and then Prasetiya Mulya is a business school. It used to be a business school, now become a university, but focusing still on management and entrepreneurship on business. So Tenggara now, our service is mostly related with the service of the 3 institutions. So we have experts on social issues, we have experts on foreign affairs like in CSIS, but we also have experts on business issues, finance, human resources, and then operation, things like that in Prasetiya Mulya. So our service covering mostly about the service of this founding institution.
So your institution is a think tank or some kind of agency?
It is, we define ourselves as a research and business advisory.
So you can provide business assistance,
Exactly.
Advice to mainly to companies from China or?
No, it's from China, a couple of companies from China, also mostly foreign companies operating in Indonesia, or foreign companies want to enter to Indonesia. But there are also Indonesian companies that, for example, want to influence policy. So we write policy paper.
So there must be Japanese and US business people come to you to ask you to write paper about the policy.
Yes.
That's how they influence the policy.
Yeah, that's one area. Another area, actually, we do what we call non-financial due diligence. If, for example, Chinese companies want to invest into Indonesia, want to invest in one company, for example, they will do financial due diligence. They have their own team, but normally they cannot do non-financial due diligence. So we help those investors to do the non-financial due diligence.
Do you think it's okay for any company or for any foreign company to ask you to write a paper to influence the policy?
That's also possible. Usually it depends on which area. Most of the policy paper will do it together with CSIS because they are expert in terms of policy paper.
But my question is, the paper that tries to influence the policy, is that good for the it's good for the company or it's good for Indonesia itself?
So both ways actually, because it is a policy paper. So policy basically should be considered is for the benefit of the public. Then if it is a benefit of the public, it should also benefit for corporations, because corporation is doing for the good of the public too. Policy sometimes, are restrictive to certain area, or policy sometimes because it is, in many cases, policy is adopted not considering all aspects. Maybe they consider 5 aspects. The other aspect they are not considering and they are affected. Then we bring along that to the center here to get attention. Something like that.
Yeah, maybe it's not a common practice for Chinese companies to do that, right?
No.
Do you think Chinese companies should do that?
No, it's kind of different. Chinese companies, they are not really concerned about influencing decisions sometimes. But when they are big enough, and then the operation is affected by certain policy, maybe they need to influence policy.
From what I know, some Chinese companies they really want to be included in the process of policy making. Like for the auto industry, the EV, Chinese EVs, the presence here is large. Wuling, Chery, BYD, all the and this Friday, the Chinese name is Xiaopeng. Xpeng. It's also very popular in China. Will hold launching ceremony here in Indonesia.
New?
A new EV, a new brand.
Yeah.
Many brands coming here, but they told me that the auto industry here in Indonesia is controlled by the Japanese.
Yes.
Because they can influence the policy.
Yes.
Maybe Chinese people want to. Yeah. We also want to influence the policy to balance the market.
Yeah.
But we cannot do that, or we don't know how to do that, or sometimes, from the education we receive in China, it's not right to do policy influencing. What's your advice for these companies?
Okay, so especially for EV, for example, just give you one example. When Indonesia adopted the policy in 2019 to accelerate the development of EV, then in 2021, the government issued this government regulation promising the investor, if you invest in Indonesia by 5 trillion rupiah, or when your investment already become commercial production, we will increase the luxury tax for hybrid car, because hybrid is the main competitor for EV.
Yeah.
So they will increase luxury tax to 15%. Yeah. It was only like 6 to 9%. They will increase to 15%. Now, last year, or this year, actually announced last year, but it was implemented earlier this year. The government not increasing, even reducing the tax for hybrid.
Yeah.
That's because of Japanese influence, the automotive influence, the Japanese lobby. It is against the government own regulation, actually.
How do they influence the policy? Writing papers.
We don't know. But the result is obvious. The result is obvious. Why the government not increasing the tax, but reducing the tax for hybrid?
Yeah.
And who is the biggest player here?
Yeah, the beneficiary.
The beneficiary, yeah.
Or even policy here in Jakarta, the hybrid cars are not free from the regulation. Or even played.
No. So this is actually an interesting case why you need to influence, because it is your own policy, but you adopt policy against your own policy. That's just one good example.
Yeah, maybe there are other examples, but this is obvious. It will impact the industry.
Yeah.
But many Chinese companies are here. Over 10 brands here, and EVs here.
A lot.
They are expecting.
And they are actually very dominant. I think last year, the sales in 2024 for EV, Chinese EV, they dominate almost 90%, 80% something. Mostly BYD.
Yeah, BYD like 38% or 36% of the market.
Yeah.
Then Wuling, Chery, and other brands, they are the top 5.
Yes.
And the Hyundai, there are 2 models of Hyundai.
Yeah.
They are getting beaten up. And many of the employees are quitting their jobs and they try to work in Chinese companies. Because they are too pricey. Too expensive.
Yeah.
Plus the design, the interior and the exterior design is not as good as Chinese EVs. And the Chinese companies are trying to make these electric cars like mobile phones.
Yeah, become cheaper.
Cheaper and beautiful design. More function.
Yes.
Yeah, so, but the problem is for me, I don't like EVs.
You don't like?
I don't like. When I drive new electric cars, I got dizzy.
Really?
Yeah, I got dizzy. I like the fuel cars.
The ICE, the internal combustion engine.
Yeah, the traditional cars. But the EVs, if you drive it for a long time, maybe you will fall in love with it. My friend told me that in Jakarta, if you have your own electric cars and you have your own charging station at your home, it's cheaper.
Yes,
a lot cheaper.
Yes,
and and it's beautiful. You don't have to follow the odd even rule in Jakarta. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
But EVs, the problem is if you update the models so fast, the car will become cheaper and cheaper. But you bought the car at a higher price, but next year the price will be cut by half, maybe like that. In China, it's like that. It's good for even it's good for new customer. But it's not good for the old customer.
Then wait for next year.
You have to. Like cell phones. Every year I bought a new phone, a new iPhone, a new like Chinese phone, Vivo, Huawei, something like that. Huawei is also here in Indonesia right now. When Huawei is not here to sell their phones, many Indonesian people come to me to ask buy the Huawei phone for them to bring it here to Indonesia.
But now it's already here.
No, it's already here. I heard that it's already in the market. Which aspect do you focus on?
Well, actually, it's really depend on the clients, and again, it's also depend on our expertise. As long as we have the expertise, then we can do. Like, they want to test the market, we can do the market survey. Chinese is quite different actually in terms of services. Usually they want to know about who are stakeholder mapping. When they get into that certain area, they want to know who are actually the key players. Want to know who actually to influence. Something like that.
But we're afraid of getting judged by the Jakarta Post. Jakarta Post will write an article, Chinese companies try to influence that.
It will not. Because it's a common practice in the modern world. As long as you influence in a good way. Not influence, by the table, but you influence in the public area. Promoting discussion. But it's different than you put under the table. It's a different thing.
Do you also focus on Indonesia's economy?
I do. Both actually. Every day we publish our analysis in the Jakarta Post. One article every day, covering both politics and economy.
I want to know your opinion on the sovereign fund of Indonesia. Danantara.
Most people will have a quote-unquote negative view on Danantara, but I have a kind of different view. I will give the benefit of the doubt because it is something new, and we want to have an institution that deliver results. We don't know in terms of whether it will give good results. But if you look at the people eventually selected there, we have Pak Rosan, who is a businessman, and then Pandu Sahrir, another businessman. Even I think it's a good choice. Because initially it was Pak Mulya Manhadat. Then everyone was like, what? He is a bureaucrat, not a businessman, not knowing about the market really, in great details. Because it was delay, so then there is an opportunity to improve it to some extent and accommodate certain, power play lah.
The sovereign fund is too ambitious. I think $900 billion.
Actually, assets under management, that's the asset of state-owned enterprises like Pertamina, the assets put under Pirantara, and then PLN, Telkom, and then Mind ID, and then all the banks. So that's not really the money put into Danantara actually, but the assets put under Danantara.
What's the difference between Danantara and the first sovereign fund under Jokowi?
That one is the INA, Indonesian. I think INA, they don't have access to state-owned enterprises. They manage assets from foreign investors. I think INA is more like GIC in Singapore. And Danantara is like Temasek. Because they hold the assets of state-owned enterprises. INA is very different.
But will Indonesia use Danantara to invest overseas?
As I understand for Prabowo, they will not invest in for the now, for the first time, for the beginning.
But the Singapore sovereign fund, they invest a lot in China.
Yeah. Because in Singapore, you cannot invest more than maybe a few billion.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to invest outside. But what I heard from official in Tenggara, they will invest in Indonesia, like downstream industry, AI, because Indonesia is very left behind in terms of AI.
Yeah.
And then maybe invest in new area of business, innovation business that's not, become the interest of private sector in Indonesia.
Yeah, I hope Tenggara could invest in the lag behind areas. Other islands. They really need the infrastructure, the technology,
I don't think they will invest. No, I don't think they will invest in remote areas.
Oh.
I don't think so.
So they mainly focus on Java Island.
No, they focus on high return businesses.
High return business.
Yeah.
But those businesses are mostly on Java Island.
On Java, but in terms of downstreaming,
it's in Sulawesi, Kalimantan, Maluku. Yeah. That's one of the choices. But talking about AI, Pak Luhut said he wants Indonesia to have its own ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Good luck with that. But does Jakarta Post or your organization have tried the DeepSeek or ChatGPT?
We do. But I don't know whether we can innovate ourselves into AI. I understand that Tenggara will invest into the area. So as long as there is money, I think there will be talents can do that.
I have a friend who establishes a Chinese companies here in Indonesia. He helps other Chinese companies to invest. His company has already using AI. Because I was doing this research on AI, especially Chinese companies using AI in foreign countries. And he told me he has been using AI for the past 2 months before DeepSeek. Before DeepSeek, because he has his own technical team. Before the AI, it takes 5 days.
Okay.
To finish this task.
Yes, it does.
But now it's less than 1 day.
Wow.
And it's more accurate.
More accurate. Yeah.
It's fast, more accurate. Time saving. But this company who uses AI, that told me he had 3 problems when they use AI. The first problem is it's expensive to train their own model software. It's too expensive. The second is the AI out there is not accurate enough. For the same question, it will give you several answers.
Okay.
But several answers contradict themselves. So it's not accurate. It just grab the information out there and produce its own answers. But the AI itself does not know it's true or not. So it takes time to differentiate, to tell which one is right. The third problem is AI talent. For your company to use AI, you have to have your own talent. But the talent out there is very rare. And all the big companies are trying to attract, to employ these talents to their own companies. So the talent, AI talent,
limited.
Limited. I think it's also for same things goes to Indonesia because Indonesia needs to have their own people who knows about AI,
most
technology.
Of talents like that, usually work for global companies. So I think a challenge for anyone, in Indonesia to get the talents. I think that's the biggest questions, because I know there are a number of parties now initiated investment into AI. Us in Jakarta Post, of course, or in Tenggara, we use AI, we use ChatGPT, we use DeepSeek, and then ask the same question and compare the answer. And then from there we do the research. Save time.
Save time, and also if I give the AI enough information, it can produce a very good article.
Exactly.
Yeah, I use ChatGPT to write an article. Yeah, and just do some rendering like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to influence a policy about medical industry? Indonesia's medical industry.
We haven't do that, but we have been engaged by medical companies. Yeah, that's actually the big area that we need to do the reform.
I know the Indonesian doctors, if you want to be a doctor in Indonesia, you have to learn in Indonesia and you can't go overseas.
Yeah, that's true. But now I think the government already realized that during this minister, the health minister, I think they already reformed. So it's possible that you can go to study overseas and you can practice here. In the past, you cannot go study overseas and you practice here. You cannot.
If I go overseas, like if I'm an Indonesian, I learn medicine. I want to be a doctor and I go overseas. Why should I come back?
Good question.
Why should I come back?
Well, it's really depends, if you want to contribute, then you need to come back. If you want to have your better life, maybe you have to stay there.
Yeah. The doctors here, I know they only work half of the day. And for the other half of the day, they have their own clinic.
Yeah.
To take care of.
If you work only for the government, it's not enough. It's not enough. You cannot send your children to schools. So that's why all doctors, or most doctors in Indonesia, they have their own clinics or they practice in private hospitals.
Yeah, I think Indonesia should cooperate with China on
the health issue. Yeah.
In this area, the medical area, because from what I know, my friends told from my friends' experience, if you go to Singapore, go to the United States or European, there's a long waiting list. You have to make a call first, and then you can go to the hospital, and it takes a long time. Maybe it's very expensive, but in China, it's fast. The doctors and nurses are really caring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have 1.3 billion people.
Yeah.
But the service is fast.
Yeah, service is fast because they are experienced. We have 1.4 billion people to experiment now.
Yeah.
Really? If there's nothing rare in China, so they know how to treat all kinds of disease.
Yeah.
And my friend has this cancer like 10 years ago. There's a very famous Chinese anchor in CCTV. He got this cancer and he went to the United States. Now he died.
Wow. Because
just for 2 or 3 years, because the treatment is different from
in
China. We also have a movie star, who has the same cancer.
The bit in China.
It's already 20 years. He's getting better. The Chinese netizens or Chinese people say, why is the anchor dead? Because he went to the United States to treat this disease. So if Indonesian doctors or nurses can go to medical students, can go to China to learn. Yeah, usually in China, if you want to be a doctor, you have to learn 5 years for the bachelor degree.
Yeah, the same thing here.
Yeah, then you can't be a doctor normally.
Oh, really?
You can't. Oh. You have to go another 3 to 4 years after you get your
graduation and the graduate
doctorship.
Here after graduate school, if you got medical school, you can do practice. But then if you want to do specialization, then you go to the next level, the graduate school. My question is like this. In China, you got so many traditional medicine. Is that recognized by the government?
traditional Chinese medicine. Yes.
Recognized.
Yeah, recognized. In China, we also have this two groups, or maybe three groups. It's like about religion. Some people trust traditional Chinese medicine. Some people don't, and some people are just suspicious about it. So I don't know if it's true until I try it. It's also controversial in China.
But it's recognized by the government.
It's recognized. I'm not an expert on this, but I have asked many doctors their own opinions. We have doctors of traditional Chinese medicine. Of course, they believe it. But for Western practice, Western doctors, they don't. They don't, but they see it as an alternative. Let's take my father, for example. My father got cancer in 1998. We are from the northeastern part of China, the Jilin province. And my father went to this provincial capital, Changchun, to have treatment. So have this chemo.
Okay. So when was that? In
1998.
Wow.
And my father is still alive.
Still alive?
He's still alive.
Very good.
So he has this Western treatment for the first year. Then for the second year, his doctor told him not to go further. Told him to try the traditional Chinese medicine way. He followed his advice. Then he's still
alive.
Yeah, still alive
Good.
But he hasn't taken any medicine for 10 years.
Wow.
So cancer is curable in
China.
In China.
Because if we do the medical treatment, the modern medical treatment, I don't think there is a treatment for cancer. They destroy it.
Yeah, the Western way is to destroy the cell.
Yes.
But along the way, you also destroy your own body.
Exactly.
Your other organs.
Right.
I know traditional Chinese medicine is not recognized here, right?
No, it's not. Not only traditional Chinese, all traditional. Like in our office, if you claim, let's say traditional treatment, it will not be accepted. But if you reimburse from, let's say, treatment in the hospital, it can be reimbursed, the money.
I don't know if I have tried cupping.
Or acupuncture. I tried the acupuncture, but not the cupping.
Acupuncture. Is it good?
It's make you relax, that's true.
Facial issue Justin Bieber had about 2 years ago.
Who?
Justin Bieber. Just before he wanted to hold this concert in Jakarta. He had this facial issue.
Okay.
And it took about 2 months or 3 months to fix it. In China, if you use acupuncture, it's just a few days okay. Yeah. It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
And I went to Yigaen last August. Then I had a car accident there. My car crashed.
Who? You? Oh.
I went to Yigaen. Our car crashed, bumped into another car. Yeah. I hurt my neck and my back.
Okay.
I went to all the hospitals here in Indonesia and also back to China. All the CT scans, all the MRI scans. There's nothing wrong with me, but just hurts. So I used acupuncture. I got better.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes it's hard to explain. Why the Indonesian government or other governments, they don't recognize, or some people, they don't recognize traditional Chinese medicine because it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
The same method doesn't apply to everybody.
Well, actually, people, they do take Chinese medicine, they do take like acupuncture, but it's not recognized by the government.
Also, my friend Tony, he's Indonesian. He had a car accident before, at the end of last year, before the Chinese New Year.
Okay.
And I don't know if maybe it's a little critical. So he his family chose to go to Malaysia.
For treatment.
For treatment. I think if Indonesia improves its health industry.
Yes. You don't need to go outside.
People don't need to go outside. Yeah. It's money. It's also money flowing out of the country.
It's in 1 year, it's billions of dollars actually, especially to Singapore and Malaysia.
It takes time to improve, to train the doctors, and takes time for people to trust your own doctors.
Yeah, true.
Maybe sometimes you should do one like this for this hospital in Pig or in other areas. You should invite Chinese doctors or other good doctors as guest doctors.
Guest doctors,
2 times a month, 3 times a month.
That's actually a good way, because I think in terms of regulation, I don't know, in terms of law, it's already allowed, but there is no implementing regulation yet. So that's why I think, like PIC, they can build their own hospitals and bring Chinese, doctors or doctors from other countries and become like alternative treatment rather than going to Singapore, Malaysia.
President Prabowo really cares about people's welfare, so he should push this. Health industry is a big industry,
True.
And still Indonesia has a long way to go.
Yeah, it's true.
It also takes me to another question. It's about the universal care, the health check. Have you tried it? It's free.
I think that's good. That's good for the free health checks, because that's actually preventive actions. Although it is actually at the community health center, the Puskesmas. And Puskesmas, in terms of equipment, is very limited.
Yeah, blood pressure.
Something like sugar level,
yes,
and then cholesterol.
Yes, sugar level and cholesterol is, I think, it's really a big problem for Indonesia.
True.
The diet problem.
The diet problem, because we love eating something sweet.
Sweet and oil. Chinese people cannot tolerate the sweetness.
In Indonesia.
My friends and I always order food like tanpa gula or
tanpa gula,
tidak mau gula. For the for juice.
Yes.
For juice, it's already sweet enough.
And we put more sugar.
No Chinese can tolerate that.
No.
Yeah. In China, most food, most drinks. Are sugar free. Sugar free. It's healthier, I think.
Yeah. Because when I was younger, everything is sweet.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you realize that it is dangerous. So now also I follow you. I don't drink something sweet.
And the rice.
That's the problem.
less rice.
That's our main problem. Especially you eat Padang food, you cannot have less rice.
It's salty and spicy. You have to have more rice. Yeah.
That's our problem. Because that's have a high sugar level.
Yeah, sugar level much higher. And
that's true.
Yeah, all of my friends, but some Chinese beverage company, they have their own stores, chains in Indonesia, and also ice cream company. Sometimes the ice cream company fails in Indonesia because they are not sweet enough. Not sweet enough. And we in China, we have this drinks in other flavors, salty and other flavors. Yes. We also tried to bring it here to Indonesia, and it's not popular at all. Just sweet, too sweet. It's not good for the health.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but the free health check is good.
It's good.
It's good. You should go to try it. At least to see how many people are there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if the coverage is good.
Yeah. Because it's in the community level health center, they can cover as many as people as possible. But as I mentioned, maybe the test is very limited.
But how long does it take? How long does the program last?
It's the whole year program, I think.
Every year?
I think they're starting from this year because it's new, and they will continue. It's already included in the budget.
It's a lot of It's a lot of money.
No, actually, because it is in the community level, so they have already the medical staff there, and then what do? You don't spend. It's more on the manpower things and the equipments. You don't need to give the drugs. You don't need to give medicines. It's just a check. As long as you have the equipment, you have the manpower, basically you can do.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I think it's good policy.
Okay. What the policies like the free lunch policy, the health check policy? These are good policies. But why there are so many protests against
for health check? There is no protest. For free nutritious food, it's the protest simply because of the management, I think, because most of this project, the contractors, the what do you call it, the central kitchen, everything is managed by the military. So that's simply because of that issue. And also, you don't differentiate which school. Why not focus on area that need it? When you have a school that already people are basically paying a lot of money there, you don't need it basically because they have already got good food at homes. So why not you focus on a certain area, a certain school that's really needed?
Can you tell me a little bit about IndonesiaGelap?
IndonesiaGelap. I think that's a valid movement. I can understand why they have this demo, they have the rally, because they see that Indonesia is getting more into militaristic kind of governance. As I mentioned, in terms of free nutritious food, it's involving the military. And then now, in terms of rice, the policy is basically you have this set of rice price at 6,500 for the farmers, and now the government appointed active military officer to be the president director of this state logistic agency. And again, you involve military, the police for enforcement.
So basically, military should stay out of politics and social affairs.
It should be involved civil organizations. But because Prabowo, I think, has the strong military background, maybe he don't. I'm not really. Maybe he don't trust civil institutions to enforce his policy, even to build these food estates. He also asked the military to do it. So many things. That's why it became IndonesiaGelap.
Have you ever joined any protest before when you were in college?
Oh, in college, no. But when I was a journalist, yes. During the revocation of magazine, Tempo magazine. That's in 1994.
Do you think protest works?
It works, yes. It works. At least it gives channels for people to express themselves.
But sometimes, it works as an outlet for people to release their anger.
Mm.
But in effect, do they really change the policy?
It really depends on the presidents. In the past, it is effective. It is effective during all president except Suharto time. Yeah, after Suharto time, it's effective. Even Pak Jokowi, it's effective.
But Prabowo is a strong leader.
Yeah,
He's not easy to be persuaded.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
And sometimes people say that these protests are organized or initiated by the outside powers.
Outside power, I don't think so.
In every country, when there is a protest, they will say it's organized by the outside power.
I don't think so. It's because we are, we used to express ourselves through rallies, express ourselves through that kind of demonstrations. So I don't think it is, outside power taking place there.
I noticed about this anti-CNN Indonesia remarks on the social media. I don't know if you know that.
What, anti?
CNN.
CNN?
CNN Indonesia.
CNN Indonesia?
You don't know that?
No, I don't know that.
Because people are saying CNN Indonesia is trying to report the Indonesian.Gelap movement in a negative way. So they listed 39 articles about their reporting. 23 of them are neutral.
Okay.
But the other 16 are negative.
Okay.
So they blame CNN Indonesia are controlled by the conglomerate. So they serve the government, and people are trying to criticize CNN Indonesia. That's what. Yeah, I also wrote an article of myself on Chinese social media. Yeah.
I'm not sure. It could be, but I'm not really sure. Because CNN Indonesia belongs to Khairul Tanjung. Khairul Tanjung is not in the government, but he is close to many of government officials.
Has Jakarta Post ever been influenced by the government? The government tried to take down any certain article or try to ask you to report anything in a certain way?
No, we haven't. Even during Suharto time, there were influences, yes, through the minister. But after that, no. I don't think they influence the media in a direct way. Usually they will influence the media by placing, paying the media to publish certain articles. That's maybe they will do that.
So I often read the Jakarta Post, Kompas, CNN Indonesia, and CNBC.
CNBC Indonesia.
Yeah.
CNBC and CNN Indonesia belongs to the same group.
They're really big in Indonesia.
Yeah, this belongs to Khairul Tanjung. That's not CNN.
Yeah.
They're just collaborating, using their brand.
Oh, using their brand. But it's not CNN's.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. The same thing. The CNBC also the same?
CNBC also. It's the same, all under Khairul Tanjung. Transmedia Group.
But it's not something like Xinhua or our Chinese media can do. Because,
different.
Yeah, because if we sell, we agree you to use our brand, it will create a bad name for things like this.
Yeah.
We're already being criticized enough.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different way of doing
business. Yes.
I have one more thing about. Have you ever been to China before?
Yes, several times actually. Last time was last year, April last year. No, April, July. Actually, by Xinhua.
Oh, also by Xinhua. Yeah.
April we had the events. Tenggara had events, renewable energy events in Beijing, and then in July it was with Xinhua for event in what is the name of Hebei province.
Hebei province. Do you like Beijing?
I do, of course. Yes, Beijing. a lot of things happening there. But the thing is this, if you want to go to the famous area, like, what is the secret, what do you call it, the palace there?
Forbidden City.
Forbidden City, Forbidden City. You have to register like 1 week before that something.
Yeah.
You cannot just go show and buy. You cannot.
No. Have you, other than Beijing and Hebei, other cities?
I went to last time. Where is the Terracotta City?
Terracotta, Xi'an.
Xi'an. I went to Xi'an. Yeah.
It's also an old city.
The old city, and then I went to this Three Gorges Dam.
Oh, in Chongqing.
Chongqing. Yeah.
I heard this story about Xi'an because during the old China, a long time ago, many dynasties in China, they chose Xi'an as their capital. So when the PRC was founded, they really argued about which city to become the capital, and they voted.
Xi'an and Beijing.
Yeah, Xi'an and Beijing. And Beijing won by 1 vote.
Oh, really?
But Xi'an was also really beautiful.
Yes.
And famous as a capital.
And there's a big Muslim community there.
Yeah.
In Xi'an.
Yeah. In many.
So I went there for a few days, including one Friday. So I did because I'm Muslim, I did the Friday prayer in one of the old mosques in Xi'an.
Yeah, next time in Beijing, you should visit this my university.
What's university?
It's called Minzu University.
Minzu.
Minzu means ethnicity. There was another name before Minzu University. Before it was called Chinese University of Ethnicities.
Ethnicity.
Or ethnic groups, something like that. Okay. But during my time, from 2009, it was called Minzu University of China. It has all the ethnic groups of students in that campus, and many Muslim students too, from Xinjiang, Gansu, and Qinghai, the other places. Yeah, the other places. They have their own canteens.
Canteen, wow. Halal canteen.
Several halal canteen on the campus. We also have this Mongolian students, students from Kazakhstan. Kazakh ethnic groups of Kazakh, from Muslim, other Muslims groups. They usually study their language, literature.
In Minzu.
In Minzu University. It's in Beijing. I was because I'm by ethnicity, I'm Mongolian.
Oh, really?
Mongolian. Because my father is a Han. My father is Han Chinese, but my mother is she has a blood of Mongolian and another ethnicity. I forgot.
But your father Han.
My father is Han.
Then you are Han actually.
Half Han.
Yeah.
One third of Han, or 1/3 of Mongolia. Another Man from the Qing dynasty. The Qing dynasty is Manchu. Yeah.
Like
so
Manchuria.
Yeah. So I have this 3 bloodline. Then my father chose Mongolian. My mother chose this Mongolian as my ethnicity. You know why?
Because benefits?
It gets extra benefits in China if you are ethnic minority. If you want to go to
university,
apply for university, you get extra points. You get extra points. If you are from Xinjiang or from other places, the grading system is different. Also take a test of your own language. So that gives you advantage over students of other places. Because they have better educational resources. But you don't. That makes you, if you are from Xinjiang, from other places of ethnic groups, you can go to a good university with a little bit lower grades. I got 5 points, 5 extra points.
Really?
5 extra points.
Because being Mongol.
Yeah, because of being Mongolian. Yeah, but used to, during my time, I also have classmates. They will change their ethnicity background
really?
before the college entrance test, just to get extra points. But now you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's in the early 2000s. People can still do that. Yeah, if you move to another city, or if you really have the connections, maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
Now you cannot.
You cannot.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting. Extra 5 points for ethnic minorities.
So your parents choose to be Mongolian instead of Han.
Yeah, because there are plenty of Han in China.
Yeah.
So the minority maybe have some benefit. And plus, my city, they used to, it's called Songyuan. They used to be a Mongolian-dominated place.
Oh.
In that city, people of Mongolian background, they get the advantage of getting jobs from the government, getting better education.
Yeah.
But now they still have better education. Not better, but they still have good education. But Han, Han Chinese is majority now.
Majority.
Yeah. But it's interesting. But I don't speak any Mongolian. But I only know one sentence. Badaidi.
What's that?
It means magan.
Badaidi.
Badaidi. It means magan. Yeah.